So both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series have fancy controllers you can buy for right around $200. But how do they really stack up against one another? As if you only own one console or the other, the choice of which controller to get is fairly obvious. But if you own both consoles, or if you're intending to use them on PC, as both of these controllers can be used on PC. So, Elite Series 2 versus DualSense Edge. Well, first there is the price. Not a huge difference, but the Edge is $20 more expensive than the Elite Series 2, and 200 versus 180 is not a huge gap, but it's still nice to keep an extra 20 in your pocket. So for price, the Elite Series 2 takes it. But also value related, how is the durability of these two controllers? Well, the DualSense Edge does have the ability to swap out the analog components in case of stick drift. So, for that reason alone, I will give it to the DualSense Edge, as you can easily fix the number one most foreseeable problem. Next we have the extra features of the controllers. Both allow you to swap out your analog stick tops. Both let you keep the same number of profiles on the controller. The Edge only has 2 programmable back buttons, where the Elite Series 2 has 4 programmable back buttons. But the Edge does have things like the touchpad portion and gyro control, features simply unavailable on Xbox controllers. So for that reason, I narrowly give it to the Edge for this category. Next we have ease of use. When being used on their respective consoles, they are both incredibly easy to use. However, both of these controllers could be used while gaming on a PC, and the majority of PC games since about 2008 have been compatible with Xbox controllers. So you are likely to encounter far less problems using an Xbox controller than a PlayStation controller. So the Elite Series 2 will take it for ease of use. Moving on, both of these controllers are incredibly customizable, giving you a huge number of options to tailor the controller specifically to you or to the game you're going to play with it. And in terms of customization, they both seem to do the same tricks, quite honestly. So customization is going to be a push between the two. The last area to talk about is the battery life of these controllers, and this category is by far the most one-sided of any of these. The Elite Series 2 is advertised to have 40 hours of battery life, and in my experience that has been fairly accurate. Sony claims that the DualSense Edge will last for 5 to 10 hours. In my personal experiences, it's a lot closer to the 5-hour mark than the 10-hour mark. But that's not unique to the Edge by itself. This seems to be about par for all DualSense controllers. So the Microsoft Elite Series 2 will take the battery life category, having roughly 8 times the battery life. So, stacking them together, the Edge won both durability and features, while the Elite Series 2 had a slightly better price, is easier to use on a PC, and definitely has the battery life in its favor. However, at the end of the day, I could see a case being made for either of these controllers. As someone that games on all 3 platforms, I would personally take the Microsoft Elite Series 2 over the Edge, simply because I could easily use it with both my Xbox and my PC. I could even use it with my Steam Deck if I was so inclined. But there's no way to use a Elite Series 2 on a PlayStation 5. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.